Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching EXPOZ on January 27, 2012, 1:44 a.m., Birmingham, Alabama. Topic, update on Israel versus Iran. I'm going to kind of tell you what's going on here in a nutshell. First, you remember the hee-hawing back and forth between the United States and Iran when Iran says we're going to stop the Strait of Hormuz. This will prevent a sixth of the oil supply in the world from coming through. Well, the oil companies will use a sixth as a huge excuse to raise prices. If it's just like the old saying, a butterfly flaps its wings in Africa, we get a hurricane in America. Well, the same thing over there. Somebody just breathe oil and the prices jump up. And I know I'm off track a little bit, but I'm heading somewhere. And then Iran says, well, if you want to try to come over and keep this strait open, then you're in a war with us. Okay, good. And then they will turn around and say, you can't do this because we need to keep our oil moving. Well, hell, my Iran, make your mind up. And then China steps in, says, you can't do that. We need Iran's oil. And Russia says the same thing. Well, Russia and China are for Iran. And so I'll tell you kind of some of the headlines that's going on right now. Ahmadinejad, this is a far cry from what he was saying last week, says Iran ready for nuclear talks. Former IDF chief, Israeli chief, Israel must prepare for a possible attack on Iran. Look, people, this is not going off the table. Israel attack Iran is not going to ever leave the table because it will happen. It's going to happen. Israel is going to take out Iran's nuclear facilities. No beans about it. No one's going to stop them. And this is when China blasts the European Union sanctions on Iran, which we are pretty much responsible for that. And Saudi warns of a Mideast nuclear race. Now, Jerusalem, Israel is concerned the Saudi Air Force to outnumber Israel's advanced U.S. jet fleet. Well, let me say this up front. Israel will not be beat by the Saudis, by the Chinese, by the Russians, by Iran. Israel will not be beat. Benjamin Netanyahu knows that. But it's the common people in Israel that doesn't know that. So when Jerusalem concerned about the Saudi Air Force, Benjamin Netanyahu is not. The European Union still sees a chance for Israel-Palestinian talks. Now, let me go back and tell you that Alabama had a huge outbreak this past Monday. This is the 23rd of this month, where over 200 homes were completely destroyed and 500 damaged. Luckily, there was 2 deaths. But still, my cousin, whom is a great Christian and really keeps close ties because he was stationed in Israel and the Middle East for 20 years. He knows every inch from Israel all the way through Germany. He knows it, and he knows where the Valley of Megiddo is. He knows everything about it. And ask him what is going on over there, he said Israel's not to worry. But what he did say was this past weekend, this was on the 20th and the 21st and the 22nd, we met Israel and the Palestinians, and once again said, Israel, you got to give up land. Boom, between 24 and 36 hours, we got slammed by another outbreak of tornadoes. Watch it. Every time you see this and every time somebody mentions give up land, we're going to get hit. In the United States, pretty soon they won't have enough fuel or money to get on a plane and go over there to talk, because we will have been drained by the billions and billions and billions of dollars it's costing to build our infrastructure back. So, Obama, you're a friggin' idiot right now to not be taking care of your country. And, you're an idiot anyway, Obama. But let me tell you one more little thing here that you may or may not be interested in as soon as I can get to it. And all this talk about the 12th Imam is going to have to arise out of great despair within the turmoil in the world and in the chaos created by the unabridged, unabated, unrestrained fighting that's being kept alive in the Middle East, mainly by Iran. And even the president is afraid of the crazy dictator, the mini-midget Ahmadinejad. He's an idiot. But I'm going to tell you what the 12th Imam is and what's going to force him or bring him out. But I'm going to tell you what's going to come out in his place. And you won't believe it. That'll be on another blog. The 12th Imam, boy, do they have a surprise. It ain't what they think. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.